Imagine this. You wake up standing on Mercury. There's no air, no sound, just the sun blasting you with insane heat. A few seconds later, you're gone. Now imagine appearing on Venus instead. Within moments, the pressure crushes you, the air melts metal, and the temperature is hotter than a pizza oven that's been left on for a week. And if you somehow ended up on Jupiter, well, you wouldn't even reach the surface. So today, we're asking a simple question. How long could a human actually survive on every planet in the solar system? And spoiler alert, the answer is usually not very long. Before we start, here's the rule for this little thought experiment. Imagine you suddenly appear on each planet without a spacesuit. No protection, no oxygen tank, just you and the planet. We'll look at things like temperature, atmosphere, pressure, and gravity, and figure out exactly how fast the planet would destroy you. Let's start with Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun. Now you might think Mercury is just extremely hot, and you'd be right, but also wrong. Mercury actually has almost no atmosphere, which means temperatures swing wildly. During the day, it can reach about 430 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt lead. But at night, it drops to minus 180 degrees Celsius. So, if you appeared on Mercury during the day, the intense sunlight and radiation would start heating your body almost immediately. Without an atmosphere to protect you, solar radiation would hit you directly. You'd likely lose consciousness in about a minute or two from lack of oxygen. So technically, you'd suffocate first before the heat completely destroys you. Survival time, roughly 1 to 2 minutes. Not great. Now let's talk about Venus. And Venus is absolutely terrifying. The surface temperature is about 470 degrees Celsius. That's hotter than Mercury, even though Venus is farther from the Sun. Why? Because Venus has a runaway greenhouse effect. Its thick atmosphere traps heat like a giant blanket. But the temperature isn't even the worst part. The pressure on Venus is 90 times stronger than Earth's atmosphere. That's like being 900 meters underwater in the ocean. If you suddenly appeared on Venus, here's what would happen. First, you'd suffocate almost instantly because the atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide. Then, the crushing pressure would compress your body and the heat would cook you. Survival time, probably less than a minute. Venus does not play around. Next up, Earth. Congratulations, you survive. In fact, you can probably live 80 years or more here if you make decent life choices. Earth is currently the only known planet where humans can survive naturally. It has oxygen, moderate temperatures, liquid water, a magnetic field that protects us from radiation. Now let's go to Mars, the planet humans are most likely to visit one day. Mars looks kind of Earth-like. It has mountains, valleys, even ancient riverbeds. But stepping onto Mars without protection would still be a disaster. The Martian atmosphere is incredibly thin, about 1% of Earth's pressure. That means the air is basically useless for breathing. If you suddenly appeared on Mars without a spacesuit, a few things would happen. First, you'd suffocate. Second, the low pressure would cause body fluids to start boiling slightly. And the temperature averages around minus 60 degrees Celsius, which is extremely cold. You'd probably lose consciousness in about 30 seconds. Total survival time? Maybe 1 to 2 minutes. Mars looks inviting, but it's still deadly. Now we move to the gas giants, and this is where things get weird. Let's start with Jupiter, the biggest planet in the solar system. Here's the problem though. Jupiter doesn't actually have a solid surface. It's basically a massive ball of gas. So if you appeared above Jupiter, you'd start falling through its atmosphere. At first, it might seem okay, but the deeper you fall, the pressure increases dramatically. And eventually, the pressure becomes so intense that it would crush you completely. Temperatures also rise dramatically as you go deeper. So somewhere far inside Jupiter's atmosphere, you'd be compressed out of existence. Survival time? Maybe a few minutes while falling. But eventually, Jupiter wins. Next is Saturn. Saturn is similar to Jupiter, just slightly less dense. It's also a gas giant, meaning, again, no solid surface. You'd fall through thick clouds of hydrogen and helium. Winds on Saturn can reach 1,800 kilometers per hour. So you'd basically be falling through a massive, violent storm. As you fall deeper, pressure and temperature increase. Eventually, you'd reach layers where the pressure is so strong, you'd be crushed just like on Jupiter. Survival time? Again, a few minutes at best. Saturn might look beautiful from space, but visiting it would be a terrible idea. Now let's talk about Uranus. Yes, insert the joke here. But seriously, Uranus is an ice giant. Temperatures here can drop to minus 224 degrees Celsius, making it one of the coldest places in the solar system. Its atmosphere is made mostly of hydrogen, helium, and methane, which means still no oxygen. If you appeared on Uranus, you'd start falling through its freezing atmosphere. The cold alone would be brutal, and as you descend deeper, pressure builds again. Eventually, you'd be crushed. Survival time, probably a few minutes while falling. Finally, we reach Neptune, the the farthest major planet from the Sun. Neptune is incredibly cold. Temperatures average around -214 degrees Celsius. But what makes Neptune truly insane is the wind. Neptune has the fastest winds in the entire solar system. Some reach speeds of over 2,000 kilometers per hour. That's faster than the speed of sound. If you appeared on Neptune, you'd fall through freezing gas while being blasted by supersonic winds. Eventually, pressure would crush you just like the other gas giants. Survival time? Again, a few minutes at most. So what did we learn? Pretty much every planet in the solar system is trying to kill you. Some freeze you, some crush you, some suffocate you, some cook you. And the gas giants just delete you from existence entirely. Out of all 8 planets, only one lets humans survive naturally, Earth. Which means, despite all its problems, this little blue planet is still the best home we've got, at least for now. But here's something interesting. Scientists have discovered thousands of planets outside our solar system. Some of them might be Earth-like worlds, planets where humans could potentially live someday. So here's the question. If you had to choose one planet to survive on for 24 hours, which one would you pick? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy videos about space and science, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.